Howdy all, Sword Trader, and welcome back. We are here again to do that fun stuff I like to do, buying too many miniatures and building and painting them. And specifically for this one, we're working on our current project of building the world's biggest empire army. And to do that, we're finally going to get started. The last video, I showed you everything, went over the plan. Now we're going to put that plan into action. And we're going to start with 30 Empire Spearmen, specifically for Norn. And then we'll work our way up from there. So we'll start with the Norn regiment and then continue forward. So let's stop, listen to me chit chat, and let's get this shindig going. As discussed in the first video, we're going to pull all of our information and so-called canon lore of uniforms from this book, Uniform and Heraldry of the Empire. So if we open her up, we can pop over here to the Norn page. And this is official book by GW. So this is essentially canon in my mind until GW says otherwise. And here's Norn. And you can see blacks, some darker red, a little bit of lighter red. And we can see here some blue feathers on his cap, on his uniform. We can see the lighter wood they're using. We go over one more page, we can see some of the crossbowmen, blue feather, blue. They do a lot of brown for their boots. I don't like painting brown. I don't want to paint brown, so I'm going to do black instead, a blackish gray. So yeah, this is what we're using, and this is what we based that paint scheme off of. So at the time of filming, this is my demo model. And this is kind of the plan, right? We're going to have, as you can see here, black pants with a wooden spear, I'm going with a lighter wood. Red for the jacket, metal for the shield, and if they have a breastplate and a helmet, that's also metallic. Gold for the lion, and then we're just adding a dash of color for a blue, and then we're picking out any leathery bits also in black. Okay, I don't know how well they're going to pick up on camera, but these are the next 29 of my spearmen. I have 29 here, plus my one demo model I did, so that'll be the first block of 30. Ignore the little horseman in the background, he's for later. Yeah, I'm super pumped to get these started. I'm still not 100% sure how I'm going to do the full scheme. I do know I'm going to do the basics before I hit it with the 8K streaking grime, but I'm going to at least get the base coats down. I still want to work on my dry brushing it up and bringing those colors to pop just a little bit. So we'll get them started. I'll play with some ideas, but more than 90% of the way there. So let's do the hard part now and paint on a lot of stuff. Okay, so we got another package. This one, I actually know what's in it, and it should be about 30 spearmen and riflemen. I already did pop it open just off camera to verify, because I have two packages coming. I want to make sure I open the right one on camera. So, yeah. Okay. So we have a baggie of shields and rifles and some 20mm square bases, and he packed these super well. Oh, maybe not. He taped them all in. I mean, all gonna get stripped, but ew. So we have a sheet of infantry riflemen, a sheet of spearmen, and a third sheet of more spearmen. Okay, let me open these all up real fast. Okay, so final count. We have 16 riflemen, 25 spearmen, which is way more than I need, but it does give me enough spearmen, though, that once I do those other cleaning guys in the back, I'd have 3-4 companies of spearmen, which would be kind of cool, I won't lie to you. So these need to all get washed first, because if you can see, let's zoom in here. Yeah. So while the previous owner did wash some of them, you can still see there's a lot of paint in the crevice. And while I'm not the greatest painter in the world, I would like to give myself the best canvas to work with. So we'll toss all these in the alcohol bath, or the next alcohol bath, and then we'll clean them all up and add them to the pile. But till then, let's get started doing some actual painting instead of just rebasing models. So I painted these like I paint everything else I do in my hobby. I lined them up and I did them in bulk. So I ended up lining these up in 29 of them. And I went model by model. And I started with red. And I did red for the jacket. And the red for the jacket that we did for this, the base color, was Bold Pilo. I'm going to butcher that. From Monument Hobbies. This is my first time using a Monument Hobby paint. And I'm going to be honest with you, I loved it. The cap's a little weird. The twisty caps are kind of awkward. But they are fantastic. I used them. They had a little bit of water. And they were perfect. And I only had to do 2 base coats, and after that, they were good to go. And after that, we moved on to black, and for black, we did the base with Corvus Black from Citadel. My standard black I usually do is Corvus, and then I do a wash of some type, and then I do a slight bit of either Ashen Gray or Skaven Blight Dinge. And then for here, we use Retributor Armor for the gold. We picked out the gold on the front of the shields. We also picked out gold on the tips of that flagpole, and then for the metal we just use standard lead belcher, and that's the metal we picked out for these. Okay, so if you take a look here, you will see 3 things. You will see a miniature front that looks completely done. You will see some guys that are almost done. You'll see a bunch of guys who are about at the halfway mark, and actually see a 4th thing in the back. You're going to see the greatest thing I think I've seen in the hobby world in Eon, the Vallejo Diorama FX. Holy crap, that stuff's amazing. So much bigger, so much better, and for the same price as like 1.5 GW texture paints. Just want to throw that out there. Vallejo, magic, sorcery in a bottle. I need more of this in my life. So let's take a look at the 2 models in the front and talk about what is different with them. So these 2 guys are about the halfway point. I put all the base colors on. I washed them with Streak and Grime, and now I'm going to do some dry brushing and then some basing, and they'll be done. Now, before we do that, these guys have something different than every other single mod I've ever painted. If you look real closely, and I mean real closely, you can see they have a beard. Like his is red, and his is brown. And the reason is, I'm so excited for is because I've never painted a beard before. I've actually never painted a model with facial hair or hair. I have only ever painted Guardsmen and Space Marines, and they've always had helmets on. And if there was a mustache or somebody, painted in skin tones. This is the first time in my life, in 15 years of hobbying, I've painted a beard. Only have a facial hair. Only hair in general, actually. So, but the point by that, though, is the goal behind this project is to build the world's biggest Empire army, but also to increase my skills as a painter and hobbyist. And one of the ways I'm doing it is by trying new things. And speaking of new things, and on that, I am stepping out of the court of GW. I am going into the court of, there's other stuff besides Citadel products out there. So I picked up Vallejo's Diorama FX, Earth Texture, for my basing materials, because that right there, I got for $11.99 on an Amazon sale. And the price, last time I checked, of a GW texture pot is about $8. So I'm gonna do the math later. I'll post it after. I'm pretty sure I can fit like 5 texture pots in here for one of these, and this is the same stuff. To clarify, it's actually 11 and some change of the GW pots that fit in that pot. Okay, so we have a slight issue. As you saw, I was going through. I was painting some of the models. I was showing off some of my demo models, and then I spilled most of my bottle of Streak and Grime. That's sad, whatever, it happens. So I went online and I bought another one. The Streak and Grime. Now, I don't know if you can tell the difference. Well, actually, we'll start the similarities first. This says AK-12. Streak and Grime. Streak and Grime. Streak and Grime. It's the same name. Same, serial number, same everything. If you take a look, I don't know how it's going to appear on camera. On the right is a brown color. On the left is a green color. And I said, weird. Maybe mine's oxidized some because I've used it a lot. Or, maybe mine's diluted or whatever. It's fine. We'll do a test model. We did a test model. As you can clearly see, those are 2 distinctly different colors. And we'll just open up the lid real fast. Greenish brown. Kind of like baby throw-up green. Brown. So these are two totally different colors. Now a lot of people could be like, Kyron, no, maybe you just got a bad batch, right? Well, in here is 20 plus bottles of AK colors, and there's about 8 streaking grimes in here. I have checked every single one of them, and they all show the same baby green. The color has changed. So, I was deciding I'm crazy. This has to be the end of the world. Maybe it's like a balancing bears issue. Maybe an alternate reality type thing. So I messaged 3 professional artists I know. One of them is Dan Osborne. I'll have his link information below. Fantastic dude. I know him through the Nova Open. And Dan's like, ha, Kyron. Yeah, well, welcome to the world of AK. They changed the formula multiple times. The color you have from like a year and a half ago is not the same color it is now, as we can clearly see. So we have an issue. I can't continue on without a color to use as a wash. And I tried several other colors, and I can't find anything that's close. And I have some options, but we're going to buy those, and those are a 2 to 4 week shipping thing. I have some stuff from Poland. I got a thing coming from Italy. I bought like 8 different paints to test because I need an exact or near exact match. I am going down the rabbit hole. This is dangerous. My wallet's going to hurt later, but that's fine though. So until then, I'm going to put Spearman of Norn on the side and work on something else. So as you can clearly see, I have a lot of minis, and there's actually a pile more of minis. We got to do mail call later. But I need a project to do. Now, one of the first things I built and tested and based was the Militia. So I think we're going to go over here and take a look at the Militia real fast. Now, as you can clearly see, scattered down the pile is about 20 or 30 Militia. So I think we're going to grab them and paint them. They'll be simple. They'll be dark browns and blacks and maybe a couple highlight colors, but be pretty simple. That's going to be part of the Norn Empire, but it's okay if they don't match the rest of the army because they're a militia. So let's grab them and get them started. So these are the Empire militia from the last video. I need to prime them and then paint them, but I grabbed them out. I counted 30 of them. I actually have some more I've acquired and built and filmed off camera, but we'll get these batch started and I'll see if we can make them dirty, nasty, and grimy. Alright, let's go get them primed and get this shindig going. Also, I just want to point out the pile of sadness in the corner of my hobby desk of my very beautifully painted, lots of work gone into them, Empire State troops who are just going to sit there and wait. Because AK Interactive can't do anything correctly and can't keep the same formula, has to change the formula. Not that I'm bitter at all about this at all. I'm not bitter or upset. Nope, not at all. Okay, so it took me about 2 weeks to get these primed. 3 days of procrastination, and then the other 11 was waiting on good weather. I happen to live in a place where it's been wet, rainy, and cold the last week and a half, so it's been hard to get a good time to prime. Finally had decent-ish weather, so I went out and primed everything. There's a couple of bad spots in some models, but for painting a bulk of 30, I don't think anyone can complain too much. A bulk of 29, because I did one demo model. Let's see if this will focus. Okay, it's kind of focused in there. It's going to be browns, tans, whites, some weapons, some rust effects. That looks like gold. It's supposed to be yellow rust. Did not work like I wanted it to, but that was just a test model. And then I'm working on the basing system because I wanted to use Shadow's Edge. It's not that bright. The ice blue, so I can have like a frosted effect. But sadly, they stopped making them. I reached out to the company, and still they have no more in stock. I'm not going to get any more in stock, so I have to find a whole new basing material for tufts. But while I work on that issue, I'll work on one problem at a time and get 29 more minis painted. So let's get this shindig started. So I end up getting started on these, end up pulling up some base colors and doing the same thing I do with my spearmen. Block out the color. I try to switch it up, do a lot of different colors. Because it's going to be peasants, they're going to all have different types of clothing, there's going to be different qualities, different textures, and different everything. So my goal is to have a wide array of colors. Okay, sorry to be bouncing around in this video, but I finally got some of the inks I ordered. I ordered several, but the first two arrived, or first two sets arrived. So I ordered some of the Villainy in here in the middle. I ordered the Dystopian Brown and the Sector Rust. And the left here, I actually have Shrieking Grime from MiG. Now, I did a batch test with all of them. And so on the right, it was using the original OG Shrieking Grime before they changed the formula. Then I have this Dystopian Brown, which I don't know if you can tell. I think I might have a bad bottle. I reached out to the company waiting on a response, but it's been 4 days at the moment of drying, and it still has a sticky substance on it. Like, it's still like spilled soda residue. So I'll use this as an example. This was left on my thing 4 days ago. Yeah, and it's still sticky and left a fingerprint. And that's how the model is. Like, you touch the model, and the whole model after 4 days is just sticky and gooey. So I think I'm going to not use that for now and wait until I figure out if it's a bad batch or if I suck at what I'm doing. Then I tried the Sector Rust, which kind of cool. I can see some uses for it actually for doing some rust effects. And then I have MiG Shrieking Grime. So I think I'm going to go MiG Shrieking Grime. And if you compare them side to side, it's not perfect, but it's the closest I'm seeing. So, again, not perfect, but pretty darn close. So, I think I'm going to go MiG Shrieking Grime. I'm going to go order at least 10 bottles, so I'm set for hopefully a lifetime. Now, let me get back to finish painting the state troops, and in the next video, we'll do the militia. So, real fast, the rest of the colors were taking their sweet time, and I was in a rush to get these done because I didn't want to install too long. It's only been a month delay at this point. So, I just started trucking on. That paint worked fantastic. I ended up actually getting in contact with Villainy, fun fact. And I spoke to them, and they said I need to basically water it down using like an enamel. Like a mineral spirit to just like water it down and you do like a 1-to-4 ratio, which I guess everyone else knows is in the world but me. So maybe I'm dumb, and everyone I talk to says, yeah, that's pretty standard. You're not supposed to just pull stuff from the bottle and slap it on. It comes to enamels, and then I got a 20-minute lecture on the phone. So yeah, I'm dumb, but it's okay. I end up liking how this turned out anyways. So here it is, 26 completed Empire Spearmen for known. This was a cluster, McClustery cluck. Everything went wrong with this that could go wrong. I did learn a lot. As you saw, I had some issues with paints, and I tried some new things, and you know what? I think they turned out good overall. We'll still short a couple. I'll add those to the next batch. I'll do those off to the side eventually. But let's take a closer look at them and talk about them some more. So if you look here, you can see there's like the little white on top of the flowers and the grayish white on top of the mud. And I did that because in my headcanon, my army is lined up in formation. 5 a.m., still got the morning dew out, everything's killing a little bit of frost, it's a late fall, and they're getting ready for battle. And they're forming lines and, prepping their weapons and the gear. And that's how I imagine them. That's what I'm going to do for the whole army. Kind of this little, like, it's not snowy, but it's kind of, that light layer of dust out in the field. And it's just the headcanon I have for my army of Norn. So up here we get a little closer look at everything and a better view. You can see, different angles of every model. Like I said before, these aren't perfect. I'm no professional, but I hope by time I kind of finish with this current project of building the World Big Empire army, I can maybe enter some stuff in some competitions. Hopefully like the Nova Open, or maybe I can go to Adepticon and try for, the Crystal Brush. I don't know, we'll see. But I like how these guys came out overall. And yeah. And for those of you who made it to the end, thank you. I know this was a long drawn out video. Be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm doing this for funsies. You can see me editing other videos back there. I have no idea what I'm doing. I do this for fun. This is my passion. This is what I have fun with. So, I'm learning as I go. I'm picking up other projects, other things, trying to get better. And one day I'll be good. But till then, stick around, dear viewer, and see you on the flip side. Stay safe, y'all.